to my channel. It's Sanaa here and we're back with another video. Hi guys, we're back with another reality TV from Netflix recap / review because I was like, the last one did so well and I'm trying to get back into YouTube, but I really just don't know what kind of content to put out there. And I was like, well, reality TV is a never-ending cycle and they keep putting it out there, so better get on it while I still can. Love is Blind Brazil season 3 came out, so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna have to get on that one because the girls are going crazy over season 2. So I was like, let's see what season 3 is working with. So if you don't know, Love is Blind is basically a social experiment where contestants go on the show and they speak to each other through a wall to see if they can fall in love over the course of, I think, like a week or two, and see if they can fall in love without having ever met, and then they meet and see if they can, you know, sustain that love and eventually get married within 4 weeks, I believe. So yeah, it was a success. Not the marriages, of course. It was a success because people loved it because it was so messy, so much drama. So they have a Brazil version, they have a US version, and they have a Japan version, I think. Let's get into it. So starting with episode 1, we have the people who they're in the lounge and they get introduced to the host, and the host basically explain what the social experiment is. Everyone's super excited, super pumped because they're gonna get, you know, talk to the people that they may potentially leave marrying. And we're gonna, like, I'm just gonna introduce you to a few people. It's hard to know who's worth talking about until you get later into the episodes because they will literally pretend that these people are super relevant, giving them so much screen time just for them to not get married or engaged and have no relevance to the plot. So we have Bianca. She's a very beautiful woman who came on the show basically to try to get away from all the judgment that the modern dating world has because she does have a disability on her hand. And so she said she's faced a lot of judgment, you know, growing up and also just trying to date and find her husband. So she's here to get away from all that. Then we have Agatha, I think it's Agatha, who is black, real beautiful, real cute, real cute. And she was basically like, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be joking about this because she was crying about it, but she basically said, I'm scared that I'm gonna find somebody and he's gonna be white on the other side because I want my kids to look just like me. Then we have Varmil, who is definitely a character. He's a character. He gives me like jokester, talk to everybody, life of the party vibes. I like bring that energy with everyone, which I would normally say is like, you know, a really good characteristic to have about yourself, but this is Love is Blind. So I'm like, I know too well the type of person that starts a mess. And this is a red flag. He is one of those people that starts a mess. But he does say that he reads books and he was reading books before he got here. Sorry if you hear the thunder in the back. But he said he reads, and that's more than I can say about a lot of guys I know. Basically, the problem with Varmil is throughout the entire dating experience, when they were like dating in the pause, everyone was like, oh, I love Varmil. He brings the energy. He's such a good vibe, blah, blah. And then they literally showed their notes. That's one thing that they must have watched the previous seasons. They was not getting caught up. They pulled out their notebook and they're like, he said this. And they were like, he said this, and this, and they were literally matching it up. And basically he was saying the same thing to everyone, and he would literally tell them, I'm not saying this to any of the other girls. And see, Netflix is messy because they put a little grid of all 5 of the girls that he was talking to and how he was saying the exact same thing over and over and over again. They messy. So long story short, Varmil is a villain. That's what I've gathered from the situation. Let me know what you've gathered. So Maria Carolina, I think her name is, but we're just gonna call her Maria. She is connecting with Varmil, but who isn't he connecting with? But he did tell her that she stood out the most to him and he wants to talk to her again. But he said that to everybody else, so I don't really take him seriously. And Gabrielle said he's a trashy, shameless dog, and she was like president of his hate club because the second all of them girls were like, he said this to me, he said that to me, she was like, I don't want nothing to do with him. Y'all got that. You can have him. Like, it ain't even a thing. Maria and Menandro, who she calls Mena, they start connecting, which is really cute, and he has a baby. First of all, can we mention how the walls that they get to talk through are so much nicer than the ones from Love is Blind US? The Love is Blind US, it didn't move or nothing, but these, it's giving waves on the beach, it's giving sand art. Like, it was very nice. Bianca and Jarvis are starting to connect. And I thought it was really, really cute. They have like a lot of stuff in common. They have a really cute connection. And one thing I do want to mention is that I love seeing how like sure and confident these women are of themselves. Like Bianca and Maria, like their energy is just so alluring, because on the ultimatum, everybody's very insecure. But here they're like, I know my worth. If he's not doing this, this, and this, then he's not for me. He can go and I'm gonna be fine regardless. And they were just really, really confident. I really like loved seeing that, because we don't see a lot of that on Netflix reality TV. I did note that Jarvis seems very rash, because he said that he falls in love with people very, very quickly and whatnot. And I was like, typically that would be a red flag. But given that this is an accelerated social experiment, I could see it working out. And you could tell that like Jarvis was not interested in anybody else but Bianca, because after like their conversation, he started talking to other girls, and his face, like they could be saying the most normal things, like, yeah, I don't really like, okay, I don't know of one thing that they said, but they were saying normal things, and he was like just making a whole bunch of faces. And I was like, okay, you love Bianca, it's okay, we get it, you don't have to make a face, because they said some pretty normal stuff, but it's okay. And also they said that Jarvis has an adopted daughter, which Bianca has no problem with, because she also has a 6-year-old son, but his adopted daughter is 2 years old. And the really cute thing that I thought was really sweet was that it's basically his adopted daughter because it's his ex's kid when he was with his ex when she was pregnant, and so basically they raised his daughter together, and so he still considers that his child, even though they're broken up. But I thought that was very sweet, that it's a peaceful breakup and it's just about, you know, their daughter. So I thought that was really sweet. As of writing this in episode 1, I was like, Maria's got to be delusional, because I'm like, why are you still talking to Valmir? Like, babes, I thought we were off that once you found out that he was talking to every other girl just like he was talking to you. But she was still talking to him. At this point, I had to put it in 1.5x speed, because it was Mena and Maria talking, and I was like, y'all cute, whatever. Like, they were connecting, but everything after that was so boring. I put it on 1.5x speed and didn't take it off until I got to episode 4. And then Vermin and Mena start beefing, because Vermin runs up on Mena and is like, you talking to Maria, blah, blah, blah. You know, she was saying this to me, and she said that I'm her top pick, and then she went and talked to you, so you take that up with her. That don't got nothing to do with me. And I'm like, that is so petty and catty. You're a grown man. I need you to get it together. Bianca and Jarvis are real cute. No notes, other than the fact that she gave him her lingerie. But that ain't my business. Y'all cute, y'all cute. I mess with it. I was very nervous for this couple, because even though it seemed like they were very into each other, last season on Love is Blind Brazil, the guy was talking to the girl. He was so into her, and the girl was fat. And once he found that out, he was like, I can't handle such a strong woman. And he literally did it with Rose. It fell through, and they both had to leave the show. And I was like, wow. Like, I was really hoping that did not happen here with Bianca and Jarvis. And why did this random come up to Vermin and like, oh, he's talking to Maria, like Mena and Maria are getting really close. She said she was his top pick. He said he was her top pick. And I'm like, you're an op, you need to get a life. Aren't you here to find your partner, like your wife? Like, I need you to stop being a gossip girl. And then Karen was talking about I'm not about to sit here and just listen to you guys badmouth Valmir. Like, I want to get to know him for myself, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, she's the dumb blonde. She's the delusional one. Good to know, because everyone has their character archetypes. He's the jokester. She's delusional. So, you know, everyone got to be somebody. Valmir grabbed Menandro. I need him to sit down somewhere and take a breath, because he really gives me Josh from Love is Blind season 4, ex Matt from Love is Blind season 3 vibes. Basically drunk ex abusive is what I'm getting at. And then like Maria was telling him, yeah, you're not it, I'm choosing Menandro. And he was like, and she was laughing the whole time he was talking and doing his whole rant, and it's like, rumors are bad, rumors get you messed up, blah, blah. She was cackling. She was like, you need to breathe. You need to calm down. You're nervous, babe. I need you to take a breath. And I'm glad that she was picking up what I was picking on, because I was like, oh girl, he definitely gives violent vibes. Like, he's gonna get mad, he's gonna punch you in the head. I very much am glad that she picked up on that vibe. Jarvis proposes to Bianca. They get engaged. They're both sobbing during the whole thing. It was really, really cute. They meet up, and he was still wearing her scrunchie, which I thought was really cute. They accepted each other with open arms and love, and everything was cute, whatever. I want to mention, you kissing through that screen is real dirty. Very, very dirty of you. And they all did it. They're all guilty of kissing through the screen. Y'all are dirty. Agatha and Hanan start connecting, which is basically the two black people. And let me tell you, they got a lot of common. They do voodoo, they dance samba, and they both super duper fine. Let me tell you, they are both so fine. Ooh, black don't crack. Let me tell you, they're so fine. Anna, she's the Rizzler. I'm sorry, she was rizzing him up. It didn't work, but she definitely was trying. So I gotta give her something for that. Her and Agatha are both black, and they both like Hanan because I guess they get the sense he was giving melanin king, but they both like him. And he didn't seem to be into Anna, and she was like giving delusional. I'm not even gonna hold you. Agatha had the right idea. She was like, I'm not here to be in a competition with anybody. If a guy wants to date you, he gonna date you. There doesn't need to be any competition. And it wasn't no competition. Anna was just a little delusional, but it's okay, girl. It's okay. You can find your husband. And Karen was talking about how she likes a star-crossed lover type of love story, and I was like, that makes sense. If you wanted a star-crossed love, you in the right place, because this show is a tragedy. And Valmir was literally like dapping his friend, hugging him, kissing him about how he found somebody that he really liked. He started talking to Karen the millisecond that his friend was like, oh, I think I like Karen. Like, we were connecting a lot. Vermin, on the other hand, is like, yeah, so I think I'm gonna go for Karen. What do you think? I'm like, you're weird. You're very weird. Valmir said he had one conversation with Karen, and then they meet up again, and homeboy is about to spontaneously combust on the other side of this wall, and it is something that I would not like to be a part of. I would not like to be sitting here watching, but they start talking very freaky, and I'm telling you, he is literally like about to lose his marbles on the other side of that screen. I'm like, okay, you can cut the cameras now. We don't gotta watch the whole thing, Netflix. That's Netflix's problem. They be recorded on the very intimate moments that I promise you I did not want to see. And she says in the confessional that no one else talked to him, but I'm feeling like it was some disconnect up here where she's supposed to think about why nobody was talking to him anymore. Because she was like, oh yeah, I'm the only one who talked to him. That's my man, my man, my man. And I'm like, you're almost there. Really, really close. You're missing the connect where you think about why nobody talks to him anymore, though. That's the only thing, girl. You're almost there. So close. Maria dodged a bullet. Her and Minna get engaged, and it was real cute. Anna said that Hanan said that she was his top pick, which never happens. And this triggered Agatha. She was like, I can't do this no more. Man, this ain't for the week. Like, I don't got it in me. I can't talk to you about him no more. She's like, I'm done. She was sobbing, and Anna was like, why is she being so dramatic? And I'm like, you triggered this girl's mental breakdown over a lie. Delusion is what it was. Like, it's so embarrassing. Karen was like, I'm so confused. Do I pick the guy who has deep conversations with everyone, or the guy who I have a deep conversation with every single time we talk? Please don't make me mad, Karen. Please don't make me mad. That they just must have dubbed that wrong. They better have dubbed that wrong, because surely you didn't just sit here and say that on national television, international television. Surely. And Hanan and Agatha talk, and Anna got caught up because he was like, I never said that. And she better than me, because honestly, I wouldn't have believed that, because she wrote it down and everything. But she believed it, and I'm glad, because he was telling the truth. And now they locked in. Daniel is connecting with Patricia. I really just wanted to say Patricia, but that's not her name. And Danny, which is Daniela. And Hanan and Agatha get engaged, which that was fast. Like, she took his word for it, which I'm glad. And they got engaged just like that. And they were really passionate in wanting the other person to be black. So I'm glad they got that, because they were both like, please don't be white. Please don't be white. So I'm glad they both got that little black love that they was hoping to achieve. Now we're on episode 3. And episode 3 starts with Italu and Karen. And Italu was saying the important things. He was like, yeah, Varmin's just trying not to go home. He's just trying to play a game. And I feel like he kind of is. I'm not even gonna hold you. He definitely is. Honestly, like, they didn't really pay attention to this, but if I was the engaged couples, I would be tired of waiting for y'all to get engaged. Because I'm sitting here with my ring, waiting for y'all to put a ring on it, and y'all talking to the same guy. There's more than enough to go around. You go to him, you go to him. Because I want to go on my honeymoon. That's all I care about. Karen chose Vermin. I'm very concerned. Good luck to you, girl. And she, like, made it a whole game, like, oh, am I gonna choose Vermin? Am I gonna choose Italu. And the girls who was like, I was Team Vermin and cheering when she chose him, I have some concerns for y'all as well. First of all, can we really talk about how Daniel tried to gaslight all of us when we were watching, and he was like basically making like Patricia really uncomfortable bringing up sex. And then after she had that like conversation with him when he was like, do you like it this or that or this? And she's like, I mean, I like it like that, I guess. He's like, it makes me really uncomfortable. Like, my wife would not talk about sex as openly as that. And I was just really confused because I'm like, she said she liked it long, and that was like, well, I ain't her husband then. And then when she tried to talk to him about it, he was like, I never eat or eat. Daniel, shut up. Karen's so silly and quirky, dotting Vermin's name with the I, with a heart. You're so cute and quirky and silly. Daniel and Daniela get engaged, and the guys bark into the cha-cha slide, as one does. Karen proposes to Velcro. She had to remind him of her last name when he went to propose after they met, which was embarrassing. Good luck, girl. She was talking about how short he was. He's short, he's stout, he's fiery. Good luck. Now that we're at the honeymoon stage, I can finally take my Netflix off 1.5x speed because it was rough getting through them first like 2.5 episodes, but I did it for y'all. Menandro is like, if Velocity tries to come for my girl, I'm gonna have a conversation with him, and I'll be like, what's up? Excuse me. Yeah, he Mr. Steer girl over here, you don't got nothing on Menandro. Harvest and Bianca go to the beach, and they have a beach day, and it's like a rainbow while they're there, and I thought that was so cute and such a, little nice sign. So I have very high hopes for them. Maria and Mena had a boat tour date, and I thought it was very awkward because they're riding in the boat while somebody is driving it, and they were just sitting there making out the whole time, and I'm like, you can't really look anywhere else because you gotta look in front of you, and they're right there. So that's gotta be real awkward. It's the first night, everybody doing their thing, and the guys agreed to howl, which was so corny. And I'm glad Maria kept her man in check, and she was like, you will not be doing that. You will not be howling. Thank you. But now we're on episode 4. The Danimals didn't do anything, and Daniela's like, it was so great, like we didn't even need to do anything. And Daniel's like, and it's so funny because throughout this entire episode, she's like, yeah, we get along so great, we're this, we're that, speaking so highly of them. And he's just like, that's my man, I'm sitting beside him, and he's like sliding down the wall, crying and throwing up. They basically all meet up so everyone can see what everyone's partner looks like. And the second that Maria's about to walk in, Karen grabs Verisimilitude's hand and it's like, girl, calm down, calm down. But I thought it was cute because she introduced him to Maria. Also, the hosts arrived on horses. The Lachey's could never. The Lachey's just be dropping them in Mexico and be like, see ya. Agatha is very, very concerned about Hanan's exes and like, what's your relationship with your ex? Like, do you still talk? Blah, blah, blah. She gonna be in our life? Does she know her place? And I would be concerned too because he ready to get married and it's only been 4 months, his last relationship. But I don't know when she was last in a relationship, but it was 4 years long. So I would also be a little concerned. But point is, she keeps bringing it up. Like, every conflict or conversation that they have is about an ex, and everyone, like all of his friends, are like, yeah, he doesn't really do the jealousy thing, so I'm kind of nervous. And I'm kind of nervous for them too. So since the guys were howling, the girls took it upon themselves to meow, and that was when I was ready to close the computer. I was like, I can't do this anymore, I can't do this. But I stuck through it for you guys once again. The girls brought up Varnish to Karen and call him Toxic Boy. So I was like, okay, so we're all aware. Okay. Good to know, good to know. And not even just them and she's delusional. Like, she's like, I like recycling garbage. And I'm like, you could not pay me to admit that. You couldn't pay me. And basically, everyone's just like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like he really likes her. She seems kind of like the leftovers. They said it a lot nicer than I did, but that's what it's giving. They're like, she's the leftovers. He was just head over heels on Maria, and now he's in love with Karen. I have to see more of them as a couple. For now, like, outside looking in, they're cute, but I don't know. Villain is kind of growing on me. Like, I guess, like, he might like her a little bit, like, un poquito. See what I did there? Basically, Karen and Vanilla Bean and Jarvis and Bianca have a conversation on the beach, and Karen was basically saying back in the pods about how, what if the guy had a disability, talking with the other girls, and Bianca brings this up and is like, you said something along the lines of, no, everyone here is so awesome, like, no, and she took that personally, and he was like, I didn't intend for it to come out that way, but he was very, very understanding, and he was like, I completely understand like what you had to go through, and I'm so sorry if what I said came across that way. I didn't really see that. Like, maybe I was confused, but I didn't know what she was getting at. I don't know how what he said was offensive, but you know, if she was offended, he apologized, and I thought it was really sweet. And I was like, okay, Valeria Root might be growing on me just a little bit. Night 2, Daniela still says she doesn't feel comfortable doing it with the cameras around, and Daniel's like, that's okay, that's all right. That's all right. But he is being torn apart. You can see it. He is dying inside, but she was like, it's okay. But I do love how the Danimals always match their outfits, and so do Hanan and Agatha. I love a couple that matches outfits. I thought it was real cute. Hanan and Agatha talk, and he's like, you could use my toothbrush, you could wear my underwear, but do not wear my shoes. And she was like, you should never share your toothbrush. Which is real true, because what? Hanan and Agatha meet up with the Danimals, and Hanan is like, yeah, something about being in a long-term relationship is just different from being married. And everyone is like, you mean the certificate? You mean the piece of paper? He's like, nah, that's not it. Something about when you have to sign that paper, it's something about it. It's a shift in your mind. It's a switch in responsibility. And they're like, okay. Then Daniela, she's boasting about how Daniela's so understanding about her wanting to take her time and not really being comfortable. And he's like, and she's just like really bragging about it. She's like, I'm so glad that he's so understanding. And you can tell he is sliding down a brick wall with no shirt on, because she's just like so ecstatic and happy, and he's just like Daniela is very, very delusional about the whole relationship. Like, don't get me wrong, he likes her, but she'll be like praising him and saying, I'm so glad he does X, Y, and Z, and you can tell he's not doing X, Y, and Z. She's like, I'm so glad he's so understanding when it comes to me wanting to drink and, you know, being a little bit more on the outgoing side. And it's like, the second he picked up that shot glass, he had a vein popping on his forehead. What are you talking about? Agatha said that if her partner did what Vic's Vapor Rub did, which was climbing the tree and howling while he was naked, because, you know, they had this whole balcony fantasy that what they were going to do at a balcony, and they made it come true. She was like, it's an immediate no. We're breaking up. No questions asked. Like, And I was like, okay, girl. I mean, Karen liked it. Karen started howling too, so I guess she enjoyed it. They're furries together. Perfect. The girls and the guys meet up again, and the girls are talking with Danny, and she's like, I want to do it so bad, you don't understand. And I'm like, then what's holding you back? Like, I'm very confused, because at first it was like she didn't want to, but now she's like, girl, that's all I think about, blah blah. So I'm thinking either she doesn't want to do it on TV, international, or like because of her family, or like because of her image or whatnot. But I have a feeling it's just because the fact that it's on TV that she doesn't really want to do that. Agatha doesn't like vasectomy anymore, and so she is like, ain't that your friend?
Ain't that your friend? Ain't that your friend? I know, listen to me. Ain't that your friend?
I wish I remembered how to do the sign language, because I learned it from TikTok, but I forgot how to do it. But it's creating a little bit of tension between her and Hanan, because she's like, how far is he willing to go for his friend, to where the point you sacrifice your morals and whatnot. And I'm like, okay, he is annoying. He's not that bad though. Okay, nah, he's kind of off. I'm not even gonna hold you. Nah, I don't got it. I thought it was really admirable though that Vermin was like, I'll back off for they can get closer, because I thought that was really, you know, cute, real sweet. Like, that shows that he really does care about Hanan if he's willing to back off of their friendship so he can get closer with his girl and not step in the way of that. So let's do some predictions, because in the previews it looked like everybody and their mama was fighting, so I don't really know what's gonna happen. Bianca and Jarvis, I think that they're gonna, you know, have some conflict, but ultimately I feel like they're pretty solid and they really are into each other, so they're gonna do good. I feel like Jarvis kind of rushes into things and Bianca is kind of like do no harm, take no ish, so it's gonna be a little like hard for that conflict wise, but I do feel like they will end up doing good. The Danimals, I feel like he's gonna be increasingly frustrated, and if she doesn't give him the goods, I feel like that relationship is gonna start to have problems in other areas, and I feel like he's gonna take it out on her, like his frustrations, and I feel like it's gonna like make their relationship start to crumble. Very similar to In His Girl, I feel like that's toxic. I say run while you still can. I hope they're not together right now, but we're gonna see what happens. I have no faith in this couple. Maria and Mena, I feel like they're gonna do good. I feel like Maria's very strong-willed and she's gonna say how she feels. So if he can't handle that, that's gonna cause conflict. But overall, I think that they're gonna do good as a couple. And then my black love, black king, black queen, I feel like she's gonna be really jealous and still talking about the ex, and that's going to turn him off. So I feel like things are gonna kind of go rocky for them. But other than that, that's all the predictions that I have. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Thanks for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Love, Sanaa.